Okay, a very warm welcome to our session here. We are very excited to have you joining us in SkillsFuture Month at SIT. I'm Cindy, an undergraduate student from SIT. I'll be a for this session. The title of this session is Identifying Transferable Skills for Career Planning. We are a speaker from SIT, Associate Professor Lee Chen-Chin, who will be speaking to us. Chen-Chin is an associate professor in the Center for Communication Skill at SIT. She has a PhD in Learning Sciences and Technology. She's an associate editor for the Australasian Journal of Technology. She's also a certified Nodal job and career development coach and job and career coach, NICF/Agile certified practitioner, and Myers-Briggs certified trainer. Without further ado, let us welcome our speaker, Professor Lee.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Chen Jing, as mentioned by Cindy. I'm from the Center for Communication Skills from SIT. Now, before I begin the workshop, I would like to share with you why I chose this topic, identifying transferable skills for career planning. So in SIT, students are required to take a module called Career and Professional Development, and we teach that module among others like technical communication and business communication. And when we ask students to draft their resume, first of all, we are very specific in the sense that we ask them to find a job advertisement that has specific requirements, specific detailed requirements, at least 5 bullet points, right? And the second requirement that we have is you need to have at least, students need to do this first cut themselves, as in there need to be at least 60% match between the job advertisement competencies required and also their own skill sets. So in the subsequent feedback session, that's when we look at their resumes, and I sort of discovered that sometimes students are not aware that the skills that they have are actually transferable. We do have students who have a diploma in electrical engineering, and they are now into the ICT program, for example. Yeah, so their poly internship might not be in a directly relevant field. So how do we support these students to see that their skills are transferable? Now, we also have students who have a long list of part-time work that they have gained, and these are also transferable skills that they could highlight in their resume. So that's the impetus or motivation for me to share with you on this topic. Now, I'm very much aware that the audience that I'm speaking to today are at various degrees of employment, pre-employment. You might be working now, but also looking at switching jobs and so on and so forth. So I just like to share why is this? Why am I touching on the three content in my workshop today? The first is what constitutes a growth mindset, identifying one's transferable skills, and also referencing the skills framework. And I'll go through them one by one. So the growth mindset is very critical in helping us, including me, to look at the job situation. And I'm going to show you a video later on, but because the narration is pretty fast, so I'm going to highlight the key concepts mentioned in the video before we watch the video. And one of the concepts that is mentioned in the video is ability is something you can improve through practice. Now, we often heard of the quote, practice makes perfect, yeah? But I also like to add on that we need to have the mindset that talent is not fixed. If we think that talent is fixed, then why bother improving, right? So we need to look at the flip side, as in ability is something you can improve. But then the situation might be that I have worked very, very hard, but why is it that I'm not improving? So that's where constructive feedback important. We need to be humble. We need to also view feedback as a gift so that we can improve. We need to know where we can rectify, or rather build up on our weaknesses, and also to develop new systems. In doing so, because we are moving out of our comfort zone, then we will be facing challenging tasks, but we need to embrace them, because after all, we are moving out of our comfort zone. But the perspective is, when we do meet challenges, we need to view them as a chance to experiment and solve problems. So students from electrical engineering, for example, they are now in ICT. But how maybe they can actually view the problem that is in ICT from a very different perspective, and that will actually add value to the completion of the project. So in SIT, we have multiple project groups, and they're all mostly interdisciplinary. And I myself have found that my colleagues from the hard sciences, and I'm from the soft skills, right? Yeah. They often adopt a soft skills approach, whereas I will adopt a hard skill approach. So it's very interesting to see the synergy that happens when projects are tackled in an interdisciplinary manner. And because this is, after all, a learning journey, we are trying out something new. Reflection will be critical in our journey of continual improvement, and we need to take creative risks. I need to qualify that. When I mention creative risk, it means calculated managed risk, and this can be managed by asking our friends, our colleagues for feedback prior to jumping into implementing our innovation, right? Feedback, after all, is a gift, right? So I'll leave you with that, and we'll watch a short video on the growth mindset. Permission has been given to share this video.
Researcher and professor Carol Dweck uses the term mindset to describe the way people think about ability and talent. Dweck delineates between two different mindsets that exist on a continuum. The first is the fixed mindset, which suggests that your abilities are innate and unchangeable. The second is a growth mindset, which views it as something you can improve through practice. In a fixed mindset, you view failure as permanent, but with a growth mindset, you see failure as a chance to learn and even pivot. Those with a fixed mindset are more likely to view critical feedback as a personal attack, while those with a growth mindset will see it as a chance to improve, where they can develop new systems. With a fixed mindset, you're more likely to choose easier tasks and put in minimal effort. After all, if talent is fixed, why bother improving? I even try. But with a growth mindset, you're more likely to embrace challenging tasks and work hard to improve. Those with a fixed mindset are likely to give up when they face an obstacle. Meanwhile, those with a growth mindset will view obstacles as a chance to experiment and solve problems. In a fixed mindset, the focus is on measurable accomplishments. But with a growth mindset, the focus is more on a journey of continual improvement. With a fixed mindset, you're less likely to take creative risks. But with a growth mindset, creative risks are simply a way to innovate and improve. Ultimately, your mindset influences everything from creative risk-taking to how you view feedback to whether or not you finish difficult tasks. And in the end, it's one of the greatest factors in determining whether or not you grow and improve in your abilities.
All right. Yeah. So I've reiterated the key concepts in the growth mindset video. So I'm going to introduce to you some research with regards to career planning, career management. These are the terms that you can use to Google if you want to find out more about this topic. Bandura is a very established, very famous author, and he mentioned this term called triadic reciprocality. And basically what it means that there is a dynamic interaction between the person, environment, and the behavior. And another term that I like to introduce to you is this term called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy refers to the belief in one's capabilities to organize and execute courses of action required to produce given attainments. So in short, basically it means that, do you think that you have what it takes to do something? Okay, so that's what self-efficacy is. So what is the implication of this term, or what does the implication mean to me? Okay, so basically the stronger the perceived self-efficacy, the more active the efforts and reduced defensive behavior. In other words, if I feel that I'm very strong, I'm very good in a particular skill, for example, then of course I will pursue it further. But if I'm not strong in it, I will not pursue it further, right? Or rather, I will withhold from volunteering myself for a certain task that requires this. I need to qualify also that self-efficacy is specific to a domain. I reiterate again that self-efficacy is specific to a domain because we are not a master of all trades. Okay, so we have different levels of self-efficacy in different domains. So I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to show you this model. This is a career model of self-management by Turner, and it was published in 2020. Now, the reason why I would like to share with you this model is because sometimes we don't know why we do certain things or why we behave in a certain manner, especially when it comes to our career. So having a visual representation of why we behave in a certain manner towards our career planning might help us to manage our career. We might be able to own our own career planning. Okay, so as mentioned, in the picture here, you have the triadic reciprocality. You have person, background, and learning experiences, and you also have self-efficacy. So let me just give you an example. If I'm a person who's looking at the box on learning experiences, yeah. So if I have over my how many years of experience, life on earth, right? Receive positive inputs from others that I have very strong interpersonal skills. I can build rapport with a total stranger within 3 minutes. Yeah. So in that instance, my self-efficacy expectation will be very high in terms of interpersonal skills. And this will influence my outcome expectation, as in, okay, give me any stranger on the road and I can go up to that person and I can build rapport with that stranger. See, the outcome expectation is positive. And with that, if we were to look at planning on having career goals, then most likely I will veer towards career goals that are more people-centered, like sales, marketing, hospitality, tourism, right? And I will also implement actions, for example, getting internship in tourism company, for example, and I would like to have a positive outcome. But having said that, if you look at the arrows, there is this need for each individual to be adaptive at any juncture of this diagram here. Yeah. Okay. Now, on the flip side, so that was a very positive scenario. On the flip side, if we are looking at the negative scenario, right? Okay. I know that there is a very strong demand for people in programming now. However, my brain is not wired in a way that I can do programming. But nevertheless, yes, okay. So in terms of self-efficacy expectation, I don't have a high level of self-efficacy in programming. And however, but I am still willing to try it out. Yes. So my outcome expectation is let's try it out. And one of my goals is I will enroll in a module in data analytics. And my action plan is to, after I graduate from that or complete that module, then I will move on to a data analytic role. But okay, taking into account personality, taking into account environments, I do need to adapt because maybe negative reinforcement from my project mates and from myself even would say that I'm seriously not that strong in programming. So maybe I need to adapt to a tech light role in a software company. Yes, I can't do hardcore programming, but I can do sales, for example, and I can pick up the lingo for the software, okay, revenue management software, for example, very easily. So that is my strength. So that is an adaptation of the career goal or the competencies that you would like to learn moving forward. All right. So as mentioned, the reason why I'm sharing this career model is so that we have a visual representation of why we behave in a certain manner. And perhaps with this awareness, then we will be able to align and set more realistic, authentic goals that are true to ourselves, true to our level of efficacy in a certain domain. Okay, so moving on, we are going to look at how do we identify one's transferable skills, be it technical or soft skills in the job, in the context of a job search. So I'm going to share with you the SkillsFuture critical core skills. And if you look at the left-hand column, you have the thinking critically cluster. In the middle, you have interacting with others cluster. And lastly, on the right, you have staying relevant cluster. So I'm just going to focus on one cluster today, and that is the cluster on interacting with others. So you see communication, collaboration, building inclusivity, customer orientation, developing people, and influence. Now, the thing is, as mentioned, each of us is unique, right? And we have different levels of self-efficacy and proficiency in these six skills. So what are the levels of proficiency? Well, you have it at basic. Basic means that it requires supervision and guidance. Intermediate refers to you are able to work with broad direction. And advanced basically means that you are already a leader and you are leading a team. All right. So how do we gel this all together in terms of transferable skills? So I'm going to share with you an example, and this example is uses a character called Jake, and Jake is basically I won't tell you what is his key competence yet. We will discover it in a while. You'll be meeting Jake in a while. He has certain technical skills and transferable skills, and we are going to help him to develop his career plan. Okay, so just let me change screen. All right. Okay. So I will need your help to look
This is
at
Jake.
this.
Jake is a fisherman.
Can you hear
What is his key
the
competence?
video? Right? Okay. So maybe you could look up the settings, the menu bar at the bottom of your screen, and you will be able to see this button called discussion forum. Can you maybe perhaps give me your answer as the video moves along? Yeah. So type in your answer in the discussion forum, and I will do the action for you. All right. So the first question is, this is Jake, and Jake is a fisherman. What do you think is his key competence? Great. Yes. And we will click on fishing and we move on.
Now Jake owns a trawler, which he captains. He fishes for only one thing, Alaskan king crab. Every year, he will hire a crew and spend 3 months out at sea before returning home with his catch. With this new information, what other technical skills do you think Jake possesses?
Right. So what are the technical skills that you think Jake possesses? You have a few options here. You have piloting a boat, weather fixing, meal preparation, machine repair, boat maintenance, and operating machinery. Piloting a boat. Okay, let's put that in. Boat maintenance. Yes. Right. Anything else? Right. Piloting a boat. Yes, we do have quite a number who say piloting a boat. All boat maintenance. No, I don't have space for so many, right? Yes, maintenance again. What else? He does go out to sea. He can be a pilot. Operating machinery. And yes, one last one. What do you think that is? Meal preparation? Not yet. Perhaps we are looking at technical skills. He might not be able to fix the weather. Yeah, right. So he will be equipped in machine repair. If he is lost at sea, if he is at sea and he can't find help, he has to be able to repair the machine. Yes, so these are his technical skills. Thank you very much for your participation. Yes, right. So Jake is, as a fisherman, he has these technical skills in piloting a boat, operating machinery, boat maintenance, and machine repair. Okay, so let's move on.
What transferable skills do
So
you think
what
Jake
transferable
possesses?
skills do you think Jake possesses? Yes, over to you again. Wow, the screen is so small. Huh? Yes, I have communication, leadership, conflict management, software programming, problem solving, research and analysis. Leadership. Okay, I have communication, I have leadership, I have space for 2 more. I have problem solving. Yes, he does need to solve problems. If the motor breaks down, he does need to think of how to repair the motor. And what's the last one? Conflict management. Yes. He does need to be able to manage his team on the boat. For example, if he's a trawler, and once he comes back, he does need to negotiate sale of his catch, right? Yes. So yes, let's click submit.
Alaskan king crab fishing pays well. Jake earns around $250,000 a year. He is able to own a big house, 2 cars, send his children to private schools, and take lots of holidays. This year, Jake did not bid high enough to get a license for Alaskan king crab fishing. If he does not get another job soon, he may have to cut back on his expenditure and lose his house. Based on his technical and transferable skills, which jobs do you think Jake can take up this year?
All right, so let's focus on the technical skills first. He has these technical skills: piloting a boat, boat maintenance, machine repair, operating machinery, and these are his transferable skills. So overall, what are the jobs that you think Jake can take up this year? Okay, so let me just read it for you. Well, you're so fast, huh? Okay, for the benefit of those who can't read it properly because the screen is quite small actually. Yes, the options are fund manager, English teacher, trade mediation executive, mechanic, factory manager, and ferry captain. So I see ferry captain a lot. I do see mechanic. Yes, he needs to be able to repair, right? lots of mechanic and steel mechanic. Yes, I do see a trade mediation executive, and I have space for only one more, and that would be factory manager. Thank you very much, because previously we did mention that he has leadership skills, right? Trade mediation, because he has conflict management skills. Ferry captain, we did mention that. Yeah, he is able to pilot a boat, and also he's able to problem solve, right? Mechanic, again, problem solving. So we see a match here between, so you have his technical skills and his transferable skills, and these are the possible jobs that he can switch to. So thank you very much again for your answers and participation. All right.
Thanks for your suggestion. Jake managed to get a job as a factory manager and tide over the year. Like Jake, we may be highly skilled in one job. However, that should not be our limiting factor. Many of our skills are transferable to other jobs, and we can be just as good at them.
All right. Okay. So bear with me for a while I switch screen. I'm also new to this platform. All right. Yes. Okay. Yes. So share screen again. Thank you. Right. So we've just gone through Jake's transferable skills. We have looked at his technical skills, transferable skills, and we have helped him to develop his career plan. Right. Now I'm moving on to referencing the skills framework from SkillsFuture in terms of career planning. So as mentioned in my story earlier on, when I was giving feedback to the students on their resumes, I had the thought at the back of my mind, where can I show students a visible and detailed resource that is relevant, that is authentic, that can help them to chart their career, not just for their IWSP or after graduation, but in the long term. And I found the SkillsFuture Skills Framework, which is very detailed, and I referred students to it. So I'll share with you how it can be used in terms of career planning. Okay, from here onwards, I'm going to show you extracts from screen captures because, well, I did say manage risk, right? So I wanted to reduce the risk in going to external websites and not getting there. All right, so let's look at the skills framework. If you have your laptop with you and you would like to search up jobs that are relevant to your own situation or your own strength, you can go to this link, which is https skillsfuture.gov.sg and skills framework. Yeah. Once you are there, what you need to do is to scroll all the way down until you see this tab right in the center of the screen that says which are the sectors. Okay. The website is very attractive in the sense that you can't miss it. They are all in rectangular boxes, and see, this is a great resource because it's so discipline specific, or rather work specific. And the example that I'm going to share with you today on how to use the skills framework is taken from this industry called healthcare. If you see on your right, you have learn more tab, and here on your on your left, you have the get template. So I'm going to share with you what it looks like in the learn more screen first. Okay, so if you click on learn more, then you will come to a tab called how does it work, and you will discover a skills map. And as I mentioned, the skills map shows the career path. Okay, so if I join the industry at this level, this job position, is there a career path for me 5 years down the road? Yeah. Okay, so that's basically what a skills map mean. right? And let's say we are looking, and I'm going to click on this occupation called operations in healthcare, and then you will see this screen capture that you will see this information. Okay, you have the job roles of patient service executive, supervisor, assistant supervisor, senior associate, and also associate. So let's say I would like to just, because I'm switching jobs, I just like to look at what are the requirements for a patient service associate. Okay, so there are PDF versions and Word versions of it. You can click on it. So I'm just going to show you an extract of it. So for a patient service associate in healthcare operations, you do have a job description here, and you also have a listing of the critical work functions. Now, I mentioned before in my story in the beginning, it is easier to, it is more useful, right, when we are submitting our resumes, to know what is required by the employer and then matching our skills to a known target rather than to a vague target. And in this particular instance, the skills may provide a very specific target for you to align your resume to what is required in the job. And you have here the critical work functions. Some of it, this is an extracted version. This is not the full version. Okay, you can see the full version in the website. Okay, so one of the critical work functions is to provide frontline services, and these are the key tasks: liaise with patients, schedule appointments, perform patient registration and discharge. Yeah, moving on, if you was to scroll down on the same document, the PDF or the Word document, you have a specific mention of the proficiency required for each competency. So how detailed can you get, right? So these are the billing procedures, level 2, and clinical support for patient, level 2, continuous improvement management, level 2, emergency response, level 2. Right? And you have also the level 1s, yes, and the generic skills and competencies at the basic level. Okay, so it's really about your comfort level, your determination of the level of self-efficacy that you have in terms of the technical skills and the generic skills. But what I'm stressing is this is explicit expression by the employers about the level of skills that is required, and it helps us to be able to match our skill sets better to the job. All right, so moving on, if you would like to get the template, remember the blue colored rectangular boxes here. So previously we click on learn more, but let's say I would like to get the template instead, then this is what you need to do. You can click on interview checklist, job advertisements. If you like, you also can click on the job training blueprint and performance appraisal, up to you, right? And if you click on that, then you, continuing on our story just now, patient service associate. So I put a click here and I say, click here to download. Right. So this is the interview checklist for the role of patient service associate. And again, this is an extracted version. And they mention, wow, from the employer's role, yes, what is it that they are looking for? So you need to, let's say, for example, in terms of billing procedure, have a proficiency of level 2. What does level 2 mean? You need to be able to explain to patients financial obligations and various payment options, including subsidies available, so on and so forth, right? Yes. And let's say I'm wondering to myself, maybe I have more than what it takes to be a patient service associate. I would like to look at what is required as a patient service supervisor. Yeah, so by all means, yes, it's all here too. You have audit management, billing procedure, business conti planning at levels 2, 5, and 3. So again, it all depends on your choice. Do you prefer or do you feel more comfortable to start as a patient service associate, or do you feel that, yes, I already have what it takes to be a supervisor. I've done this before in my previous job. So I'll go for this at this level, my entry level, I will apply for the role of a patient service supervisor. All right. Okay, so that's nearly the end of my slides. This is my suggested template that I have to students to help them map their transferable skills in their career planning. So on the left, I have my technical skills, similar to Jake's template. Yes, and I have my transferable skills. Yes, and these are the jobs that I can perform within my industry, of course, with reference to the skills framework. Okay, so there might be skills gap that I need to plug. So I need to take up courses of some kind to be able to fulfill the requirements there. But at least I know what are the requirements. And so when I take up a course, I know that I am plugging that gap in my skill set, so the motivation there is higher. I'm doing things in a meaningful and intentional manner. Okay, similarly, you could also identify what are the jobs outside my industry and the skills I need to switch jobs. So with this, I would like to wish everyone the best and take care. Okay, so now I would like to open the session to Q&A. All right. Yeah, the screen is pretty small actually. Okay, can we have the web page link again for the framework? Yeah, sure. You could. Yes, someone has already provided this, Bernice. Thank you. These are my colleagues from CCR, Center for Career Readiness. Thank you so much. Right? Yes, let's switch to, if you could click on the button live Q&A in the bottom menu. That would help because I do find it a bit, the font a bit small to read actually in the discussion forum. Any questions for me? All right, thank you so much for your question. I have a question here. I cannot find counseling under, oops, it went down. I cannot find counseling under social services. May I know where I can find it, or is there a reason it's not in there? Okay, I cannot answer on behalf of SkillsFuture. If there is anyone who is from SkillsFuture in the audience, would you like to respond? But basically, I think might be a good idea to provide feedback to SkillsFuture. Yeah, counseling, especially in these COVID times, might be very critical actually because of the issue of mental health, right? Yeah, so we do need to look into this issue. Yes. There's another question here. I'm sorry that I have only 10 minutes rest. I'll try as much as possible to answer all your questions. Do bear with me if I somehow or other, because the questions are coming in fast, and yeah, I just will go one by one. Okay, so there's a question from Diana. If we are considering to switch to newer jobs from project manager to product manager, Okay, from project manager to product manager, should we consider starting from startup or wait for opportunities to arise in the large corporations? Okay, so Diana, I can see that you have a very specific target in mind. You are targeting a large corporation, and you are also considering switching to another job, which is a project manager to product manager. So generally, I feel that there's a great number of transferable skills here, and well, basically a huge competence number of competencies that are required in a project manager is also required in a product. It's just that you really need to know the product well, and that could be picked up, right? Okay, my take is what's your comfort level, right? So if you are considering starting from the bottom, yes, there's no right and wrong to this. Yeah. So if you feel that the skills gap though in for that particular product that or company that you're going for is a very tech one, which you have hesitant, you are hesitant about, then you might want to consider taking just one intro module, for example, and find out whether, yeah, do I like that industry or don't I like that industry, that thing. Yeah, but if you have number of years of experience in this, like 10 years of experience as a project manager, and now you want to be a product manager, then I would suggest that you could look up the job advertisements that are available on the internet, and then just get feedback from some people as to how big a switch do you need to make. And having said that, if you have about 10 years of experience in doing that, then I would suggest that go for it. Yes, learn on the job. If the opportunity comes, grab it. All right. Okay, all the best to you, Diana. Okay, there's a question from Joel. Hi, thank you for the. Can I understand more on the different proficiency levels of the technical skills? How is it graded? Again, I am hesitant to answer this question. Sorry, basically because I was not involved in the design of the SkillsFuture framework. I'm a user though, and I use it in my classroom. I just wanted to share with you how my students found it useful. At least there's a tangible artifact to refer to, even though, there might be information that might be missing, for example, counseling, but at least there's a tangible competency framework that I can refer to. Yeah. Okay, there's a question from Anonymous. Any tips in overcoming fear and uncertainty in job switching? Yes, first and foremost, I think we need to plan. When we plan and reflect upon our skills, for example, the template that I showed you in my last slide, you have the technical skills, transferable skills, and I looked up what are the skills framework mapping like for and the career path in a particular industry. So when I am less cloudy about my prospect if I switch job, then I tend to be less fearful. Okay, the other I mentioned about Bandura's triadic reciprocality, right? So you have the individual critical reflection, awareness of your skills and efficacy in the different domains, right? We also have number 2, the environment, and you also have the supports. Yes, so if you would like to switch job, talk to someone in the industry that is already in the industry that you are targeting. That is the best, I think, way of getting inside information with regards to the particular job position. Yeah, so bottom line, I think to me personally, when I am clearer about what I'm getting into, I might not fear so much. All right. Thank you for the question. And okay, Shun Wong, yes. You have a question here. Oh, we went down. Shun Wong, yes. I would like to do a mid-career switch to IT industry in a pre-sales, post-sales role. Any assistance for placement? Okay, right. I wonder what do you mean by any assistance for placement? Okay, there are organizations like because for SIT where I'm working in, we cater to undergraduate students. You might want to try E2I, which could help in providing more help for mid-career yes participants to make a switch. Yes, all right. I'm sorry because I just feel that I should not go beyond what I can help you. Yeah, and I would like to really steer you towards the best possible help. Yeah, that could offer you concrete help. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. There's a question from Anonymous. If I have 3 to 5 years of experience in one area and want to switch to another area in the same field, from marketing to branding, that's a very high transferable skills there. Should I look out for roles that are a step up to a managerial role or try out from a more junior role? Yes, so that's the beauty of the skills framework, I feel, because again, you are looking at, I suppose, because you're talking about branding, right? This would refer to larger companies, and the skills framework is aggregated type of a job competency skills map. Yeah. It would be great if, again, if you know someone in the company or in the job position that you are applying for. Yeah, it's again up to you to look at firstly your strength and your proficiency level. Yeah, and ask the and look out for the job advertisements because they will have very specific detailed requirements for that. Yeah, so another source of information besides the skills framework will be the job advertisements that are available. Yeah. There is also, because I know someone who was retrenched and for quite a number of years and period of time. Yeah. So the thing is, yeah, you there are forums also, that you can pose a question, and there's a very supportive community there to help. I won't ask I won't recommend any specific forum, but there are forums there. You can look out for it. Okay, so Ping Teo. All right, okay. I have to wrap up the session because in 1 minute and 8 seconds we are going to close the session. So again, thank you very much for your questions. I know that I have not been able to answer as comprehensively as you would like, but I just would like to wish you all the best. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Lee, for the great insights and sharing. We would love to hear your feedback. So thank you all for attending once again and continue to enjoy the rest of the session today. Thank you.